Thank you, Deuce. Joining me to officially usher in the new high school football season is Greg Tepper, managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. Greg, thanks so much for joining me.
Edward, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Well, let's get started talking about Allen owning the last 3 state championships. How do they replace a quarterback like Kyler Murray?
Well, you don't. I mean, a guy like that, a transcendent talent, arguably the best player in Texas high school football history, you're not just going to find another one of those guys. They're certainly going to try. You get a great transfer in from Oregon, or rather from Minnesota, who's committed to Oregon, named Seth Green. But Coach Westerberg, Tom Westerberg, has not committed to him as the quarterback. They've got a guy, Mitchell Jonke, that they're trying to work in as well. A little bit of a quarterback controversy there. Regardless, though, they have one of the best offensive lines in the state with Greg Little, the big tackle, who's going to be protecting whoever's back there. You know Allen's going to be in the mix. Even without Kyler Murray, they're too loaded, they're too deep at all the positions, and the defense is too good, and Coach Westerberg's too good a coach for them to just go away completely. I expect Allen to be in the mix by the time we get to the championship season.
And it's possible Greg Little could be the best player in Texas high school football this season, or at least within North Texas. Do you feel like he could be the reason why Allen could win a 4th straight title?
I think absolutely. I mean, when you look at the talent level, I know he doesn't play this really remarkable, fun-to-watch position. Everybody likes the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. But he is as dominant a player as you will find in Texas high school football. I don't think he gave up a sack last year, and considering how much Kyler Murray moves around and maybe runs into guys himself, I mean, Greg Little is a special, special talent. And if you ever get out to an Allen game, it's certainly worth just keeping an eye on the big hog molly up there.
So moving on now to South Dallas. Cedar Hill has owned that area lately, but with DeMarcus Lodge, Cedric Ware leaving, DeSoto seems to be getting most of the attention now. Can the Eagles be the best of the South with a first-year head coach?
I think so. You know, Todd Peterman steps in to take over for Claude Mathis, who joined SMU's staff with Chad Morrison. And I'll tell you, I look at this DeSoto team, and I think they're due. They've, for the longest time, been the groomsmen, never the groom, if you will, and they, I think, are ready for the next step. They're on that short list of best teams without a title, and with Tristan Wallace back at the quarterback spot, even with a new coach in Todd Peterman, I think they're ready. Cedar Hill's going to be there. Don't worry about Cedar Hill. They've got too good of a pedigree, too good of a coach in Joey McGuire to just go away. A new quarterback they're very excited about in Avery Davis. But I think this could be the year that we see DeSoto finally break through.
In 5A, Aledo has to replace a lot of guys, but they can become the first team in the state to three-peat twice. What can they do without Ryan Newsom, Luke Bishop, etc.?
A lot, because they don't rebuild, they just reload. And at Aledo, there's such a belief that they're going to win, even with a new coach themselves. You know, last year, Steve Wood became the first interim coach ever to win a state title. They've removed that interim tag. He's got them believing, and you know they're always going to be athletes. And the thing that sets Aledo apart, they don't beat themselves. So many high school teams go out there and they beat themselves with penalties or stupid plays. Aledo plays sound football. They're going to be right there, and you talk about if they win this year, 6 titles in 7 years, you're talking about one of the premier dynasties in Texas high school football history.
Now, in the magazine, you said Ennis is the front runner in Region 2. Trey Elliott obviously makes that argument compelling. Who could pose the biggest challenge to them?
You know, there's a couple of teams, especially out there in East Texas. East Texas is loaded all the way across. You know, you look at teams like Lufkin from down in the Piney Woods. They're going to be in the mix as well. To me, their biggest struggles are going to come not from their own district bunkmates, but from out east, because there's so much speed out there, and they've got so many game breakers that can turn the game on their head. Ennis, it's going to be tough for them to get back, but with Jack Alvarez at the helm, I mean, you know they're going to be solid.
Just a few seconds left. What is the biggest game of the year?
Oh, geez. I think it's Cedar Hill DeSoto. I think if you got to get your tickets to one game right now, it's Cedar Hill DeSoto. Although week 1, Denton Geyer and Allen tangle up at the now open,
yes.
The new old stadium. Now it's open. If you want to go to Denton Geyer and Allen, I won't fault you there.
All right, Greg Tepper, managing editor for Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely,
Appreciate it.
Edward.
We are excited for some high school football, Deuce.